Hey, look, I just want to say, thank you, man. I really appreciate you accompanying Triple H at ringside at our upcoming pay-per-view Super Show. But I got one more favor to ask you, Michaels. Yeah, what's that, Vinny? Hey, it's Wrestling Hero Figs. What is that, Vinny? Right? Because we know he's gonna be at ringside. He's gonna be helping out his longtime buddy to assist him with the diamond. You need help when you're taking on the Undertaker. You need some kind of help, and Vince McMahon, he has asked a big favor, and it's a big favor. I mean, when you go into retirement, you're in retirement. You're at home, you're sitting on the couch, eating some pizza, watching the boob tube. They don't watch a boob tube anymore. It's called TV Hero Figs. You know what I'm talking about, though. So what it's and this, again, it's almost a for sure thing. It's actually it's confirmed. So what's going to happen? This is kind of like the initial build up to it all. Eventually, what's going to end up happening? They got a big pay per view coming up. It's called the Crown Jewel. It actually they're bringing in more money for Crown Jewel. Well, I think it's equivalent to WrestleMania. As far as like money wise, there's a lot of money involved with that pay per view. So what they're doing is that they've asked Michaels to come out of retirement. They're going to have a tag team match. So again, first pay per view, the one that we're going to have here in a couple of weeks, he's just going to be at ringside, but that's just going to get this feud started. DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. And how do you guys feel about that? I mean, Shawn Michaels, we haven't seen him do any in ring competition quite some time. So this should be interesting. I mean, this guy was always awesome. He always knew how to bring the crowds. He knew how to put people on those seats. So seeing this is getting me pretty excited, which kind of revolves the whole thought process as to what else could possibly come from Shawn Michaels. So this is pretty exciting. I do want to get some of my thoughts. What would I like to see if this? I mean, if this just becomes like a one-time thing, hey, I'm happy, I'm cool with that, but I would love to see a little bit more out of Michaels. I'm just going to give you some thoughts as to some potential feuds that I would like to see Shawn Michaels in. Let's get straight into it. The first one would have to be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is such a technical specialist, and Shawn Michaels, he is right in that category. I mean, he knows how to do the moves, he knows how to do the sweet chins, he knows how to do those flying elbows. I think the mixture of these two would put on a clinic for sure. This is definitely a feud. Kane, Undertaker, what are you guys still doing back? Let's get these guys out of the way. But yes, Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels. I mean, Daniel Bryan, from what we've seen as of late, at least from his return, you can see that the guys, he hasn't lost his touch. He hasn't lost his step. And Shawn Michaels, I think putting him into someone into the ring that kind of has a similar style, it would just kind of revive as to what Shawn Michaels, had before. And again, this is just one candidate. I do want to get into a couple more. So now that we've gone over Daniel Bryan, I say we get into the next one. I think it was about a year or two that this was actually announced that Shawn Michaels is going to come out of retirement. The very first match that the WWE Universe had requested was him against AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. He's already talked about, him going into retirement here in the next. Let's move this pizza out of the way, man. You can enjoy your pizza after the video. I think AJ Styles, since he is coming close to retirement, I think this is fantasy in the make. This is like the match when it comes to like AJ Styles' final match. You know how they kind of had something with him and Ric Flair right before Flair went into retirement? This right here, this would be ideal. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that Shawn Michaels would put him into retirement, but having the phenomenal one stepping into the ring with the Heartbreak Kid, epic. Would definitely love to see that. So now that we've gone over AJ, I say we get into mine personal favorite out of all, like out of the full complete roster. I have to say that the next runner up, it's gonna fit that. Oh man, you just wait. Would be Seth Rollins. Come on. Like he is an Iron Man. Shawn Michaels, that's what Michaels is known for. Like some of his most like memorable matches that come to mind were some of those Iron matches that he had. Like this guy, he knows what to do for an entire hour. And if you watched Rollins earlier this year, dude, wow. I mean, it doesn't matter if you give the man a 30-minute Iron Man match. If you throw him into a gauntlet match, he knows how to last throughout the entire time. These two, oh man, plus like those moves, like Rollins, he's just right now my favorite guy. Well, apart from a couple definitely that come to mind. Rollins he's up there. He's ranked in the top 3 superstars on the current roster. Now, this isn't it. Now that we got Rollins here or right here in the frame, I say we get the other two. Now, Triple H, he's gonna be teaming up with him. And like I said, the at least that's what they're talking about. He's going to be teaming up with Triple H, so that they're trying to develop something, right? And when you are like coming out of retirement, most of the time, what they do with some of these guys that just have a lot of ring rust, they throw them into tag team matches. So having him and of course Triple H, of course, right, DX.
See, some of these guys that I'm about to show you, they're still very much involved in the ring. Billy Gunn, Road Dogg. I know he does a lot of stuff down at NXT. He is still very much involved, in the ring. So if Shawn Michaels was to only have the one match, right, him and Triple H taking on the Brothers of Destruction, what he could do is that he could just be at ringside for the remaining of the DX members, right? They could have like Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and Triple H as the three main, and then maybe like have X Pac as either the fourth member, have like a 4-on-3, and then him being like just a manager at ringside just to help out. This would be awesome. Just think about fantasy warfare right there in the making. The best from the Attitude Era, versus the best of the reality era. But give me some of the feuds that you would like to see Michaels in. Again, there's just so many possibilities. These are just the ones that definitely bring out the best in Michaels. Until next time, everybody.